Greetings and welcome to another cigar review from Superdan, dealing in the desert. Today we're going to look at the Sinistro Cowboy Maduro Lancero Privada Club Exclusive 2019. The cigar is a 7x40 using a Connecticut broadleaf Maduro wrapper, Mexican San Andres binder, and Dominican and Nicaraguan tobacco for the filler. This is a cigar that is not yet available. It is very exclusive. Any remaining cigars will be sold for $50. So we are indeed lucky to be sampling this one. It has rave reviews. So let's give it a swirl and light her up. Welcome, greetings and salutations. Welcome to Dealing in the Desert. This is Superdan, and we are doing a cigar review. It's about time. Long overdue. This is 8B. B means 2000, the year 2019. We are gonna review The Last Cowboy. Yeah, The Last Cowboy. Very excited. Got good rave reviews from Privada Cigar Club. It's a very interesting cigar. It has a closed header and foot. It has a little pigtail on the end. I wanted to make sure I got this right, so I wrote down in the notes that it does have a Connecticut broadleaf Maduro wrapper. It has a Mexican San Andres binder. It has Dominican tobacco fillers. The cigar has been increased to 2,100 units. It's available on Privada Cigar Club. If you're not a member, $50 a stick. You heard me right, $50 a stick. Is it worth $50 a stick? I don't know, that's up to the consumer, you know. There's some cigars that are hundreds and hundreds of dollars. And, you know, what is something worth? It's worth whatever somebody's willing to pay for it, right? That's the best answer. But we're going to go ahead and get this thing started. We're going to get it lighter up. And I'm really excited because it's been a while since Superdan has done a cigar review. So let me find my cutter and I'll be right back. Got it. Smelling the cigar, it's got that deep, like, you know that smell after it rains if you're in a barn, but you got that rain smell. Kind of smells like that, kind of mildew, but in a good way. Deep, rich tobacco, a little bit of molasses. I can already tell already this is gonna be a good stick. There's no doubt about it. No doubt about it. So let's cut this sucker, light it. We'll get into the first third and we'll see how it develops. Tell you right away, on the cold draw, it has spicy tones to it, which I really like. I do like that because it gives it some flavor, it gives it some oomph. You know, I can't have a burrito without salsa, you know. Has like a delicious leather kind of smell to it. Sort of getting that barbecue that they were talking about in the review. I am getting a little bit of that barbecue sauce, a little bit of soy sauce kind of taste on the retrohale for sure. Getting that delicious pepper, a black pepper for sure. Um, getting sort of a sweet honey on the aftertaste, and it's still there. Beautiful wrapper, by the way. I didn't mention how beautiful this wrapper looks. Look at that. Isn't that nice? The draw is great, not tight, not loose, just right in the middle where Superdan likes it. I hope this isn't the last Cowboy. I'll tell you that right now. I don't know. It may be worth the price of admission. Great smoke output. Look at that. All right, so that's a good start. Superdan is going to get back to you as we work down this delicious Lancero pole of the last Cowboy by Sinistro. Limited edition, Privada Cigar Club exclusive. If you're not a member of Privada Cigar Club, you're only going to be able to get these right now on their website, and it's not going to be cheap. So we've got through about an inch, maybe a little bit more than an inch of the cigar. Trying to find the right words here. I said before it was black pepper. It says zingy pepper. It's kind of a black zingy pepper, if I can say it as close as Superdan could say it. That aftertaste. It's like spicy brown sugar. It's like the best way I can describe it. It's tasty. Has a lot of great taste to it. I could see why Brian from Privada Cigar Club fell head over heels over this cigar. It's a delicious cigar. It stands out. This Lancero. It stands out like the Maduro Mutanto Lancero, which is one of my earliest cigar reviews. That was from the Privada Cigar Club. Stands out like that. It's definitely going to be a class of its own, for sure. I searched on YouTube for other reviews of the last Cowboy and the Lancero, and I couldn't find anything. I did find a review from Limac of the last Cowboy, but it was like a torpedo cigar. But it was made of the same things. The Mexican San Andreas, it was made the same way. It had the Connecticut broadleaf Maduro. It had the Mexican San Andreas binder and the Dominican fillers. But it was, of course, a different shape. Probably had more filler because it was a bigger ring gauge cigar. But I'm getting very similar tastes that he got. So there you go. And evidently the last Cowboy has a lot of limited editions. I think it's due to the amount of wrappers that they have, the amount of rollers, people that make and roll the cigar. So anyways, enjoying this very much. We're gonna keep working on it, and Superdan's gonna come back, and we're gonna start getting into what sets Superdan kind of apart, which is we're gonna start chatting in the Superdan Cigar Lounge. Oh yeah, we got things to talk about, like this push of over 21 in Congress right now, and all the states is pushing for 21 and over to enjoy cigars, cigarettes, pipes. What do you call those things that people are smoking now? The e-cigarettes. We're gonna talk about that. Superdan will be right back. I wanted to catch this before it falls off, but the ash is holding on very nicely. Very nice looking tight ash there. Burn line is near perfect. Well constructed cigar, well humidified cigar, I'd like to add. I'm trying to find bad things to say about it, and right now it's kind of tough. It's kind of a medium strength. Still has that delicious brown sugar barbecue taste to it. And cigar taste, but smoke taste. But smoky, you know, like a smoker. Almost, sort of, kind of. You know? But, wow. Very good, very good. I'm gonna kind of tap the ash a little bit. Tap the ash. Okay, because I don't want it falling on my lap. Just be, you know, in general, just be kind of gentle when you tap that ash. We'll be right back. All right, we're back, and Superdan wants to talk to you in the Superdan lounge, cigar lounge of Superdan. I want to talk to you about this push for the 21 and over smoking legislation that's going on around this country. What do you get to do when you're 18, 19, and 20? Right? Well, at 18, you are legally considered an adult. You can move out of the house. You can buy a house. You can start a family. You can go in the military. You could be drafted into the military. You can fight and die for your country. All right? You can make all those decisions that society has deemed you to be fit to make. But society's telling you you're not developed enough to choose a cigar. You're not developed enough to decide whether or not after a hard day's work you want to light up and relax and enjoy a cigar or a cigarette or an e-cigarette, whatever it is. I'm not saying that cigarettes are are great for you. I'm not saying that at all. Cigars, there's an argument, okay? There's an argument that cigars may actually be good for you. It may lower stress levels. It may lower heart attacks, heart disease. Studies have shown that just 1 or 2 cigars a day has absolutely no more ill effects than a non-smoker. Look it up, it's true. But having said all that, the anti-smoking push wants to throw everything that has to do with smoke into one bag, okay? Because, you know, they just don't want to deal with it. They don't want the smoke around them. They don't want even near them. Now they don't even want it in their state. You know what I mean? It's building blocks to the ultimate attempt, which is to ban smoking altogether and make it a crime, where we're gonna go back to speakeasies and you know, underground lairs to be able to smoke a cigar in this country. I think Winston Churchill would flip in his grave. But that's where we're at right now. Now, I think that the cigar companies are once again cutting off their nose to spite their face, because it seems like they're giving up on it. For the most part, you got some fighters, but basically they're like, well, you know, we're not going to win this, so why do we want to spend our time and our money and make a big deal about this? Because this seems to be somewhat popular and it seems like it's going to pass. Well, that doesn't make it right. You know what I mean? This is America. It's supposed to be the land of the free. You know? So how can you be free when you're constantly being surrounded by chains? And then the government keeps telling you that you're free. Yet anything you do is, you know, smoking wise is criminal. You know, look at Hawaii, right? You know, proposing legislation for smoking to go to 30 to 40 and to 100 years old. This is just a stepping stone. That's what the cigar companies don't understand, is that you give an inch, they're gonna take a mile. This is just the beginning. So let me ask you a question. Is it better to fight the enemy overseas, like in Europe during World War II, to fight them there, or to wait till they're on your doorstep and then it's too late? Something to think about. I don't think this 21 and over is gonna stop there. I really don't, and they need to fight now. That's just Superdan's 2 cents, and we'll be right back to have more thoughts and opinions on this delicious Sinistro Last Cowboy Maduro Lancero Privada Cigar Club limited edition exclusive 2019. All right, so does he look like Willie Nelson, or does he look like Clint Eastwood, or a combination of both? Or does he kind of look like Jeff Bridges? I don't know. The debate goes on. Anyways, we are working down this delicious Lancero of the last Cowboy Maduro, limited edition Privada Cigar Club. I'm still getting similar tastes, a little bit more smoky now, a little bit more stronger tobacco, getting that tobacco taste, but I'm still constantly getting that yummy kind of smoky barbecue kind of taste. Not really getting any black licorice off it. I was expecting I might get some black licorice aftertaste. I'm getting none of that. Just kind of a brown sugar aftertaste with a little bit of zingy pepper that is up and down. The zingy pepper goes up, goes down, goes up, goes down. Smoke output is great, except when you inhale it. Not supposed to inhale your cigars, people. Taste is great. Love it, love it. Now, I looked up the last Cowboy Sinistro. Oh, before I forget, I don't even remember if I mentioned this, but this is made in the La Aurora Cigar Factory in Dominican Republic, for what it's worth. What was I gonna say? The last Cowboy is made in a lot of different sizes and shapes, and the prices are varied. It goes from as low as $8 to $9 all the way up to $19. But this is a Lancero. It's special. You're only going to be able to get this from Privada Cigar Club right now, and they're debating whether or not to put these out, because typically Lanceros, like I said in an earlier cigar review, Lanceros don't sell all that well, which is partly the reason why groups like Privada Cigar Club are able to get their hands on limited edition Lanceros, because Lanceros really are delicious. They just don't sell very well because, like I said before, the masses, the public masses expect cigars to look at it a certain way. And these don't typically look like your typical cigar. Everybody pictures, you know, the fat cigar, the mafioso guy, you know, the Robert De Niro character in Cape Fear with the big cigar sticking out of his mouth. You know. But like Karl Marx said, the masses are asses, right? The masses are asses. So, once again, my super dog and I, she's right here. She's waiting for me to be finished. I'm not finished yet, Hula. I'm not finished. Superdan. We'll be right back. All right, so Superdan is back. We're working down this delicious Lancero Pole Maduro Last Cowboy. And I don't know if it has flavor transitions. I've been kind of getting that taste a little bit, actually, from the beginning. But there's so much other taste that overshadowed it. I didn't really thought it was bare mentioning, but now it's coming out. It has like a dark roasted coffee, like roasted coffee beans, like burnt, almost burnt coffee beans type of taste to it coming out right now, and it's very nice. Has a cocoa component to it for sure, and boy, really enjoyable taste to it. We're getting close to having to take the wrapper off. I don't really want to, because I really like this wrapper. I really like this guy. He looks like a cool dude, man. Like he's out on the range, like he's looking for, not on the range, but he's kind of looking, you know, he's like a bounty hunter, and he's looking for the next guy that he has to take in, dead or alive. You know what I mean? That's Superdan's imagination running wild. I'm feeling it a little bit, but that also could be this, which is bourbon, Kentucky bourbon. It could be that as well. I kind of filled this up as like a double or triple shot, and I started off pairing this actually with beer, and I didn't think that pairing really went really well with this cigar. I needed something stronger. I definitely suggest a whiskey or a bourbon when you're smoking this sucker. It just seems to pair really well with this Last Cowboy. As we get towards the band, let me tell you a quick story and preface it by saying that sometimes it's not what you say, it's how you say it, right? You ever hear that in life, you know, in certain situations, or you talking to somebody and you know, maybe it's a boss, or maybe it's just a police officer or something, and you know, they're not wrong, but you know, they're not saying it well. They're not tactful. They come across as rude and arrogant and mean, you know. So because sometimes you could say the same things but say it in a different way and you get an entirely different result. Well, my wife and I went to my work to visit something called a well nurse, which is what we have to do for my medical insurance. There's certain bells and hoops that they created to to make it difficult to keep this insurance. Basically, is kind of like what it is, because you know, if you drop the insurance, then they save money or whatever. But anyways, that's a tangent. But anyways, there's an EDR in my, I work in a casino, and there's a big EDR there, employee dining room. And my wife parks in valet because, you know, she has a cane, and you know, she's, you know, more or less handicapped, I guess you could say. Not majorly, but minorly. And we had to go through the EDR. I was with, and my 7.5-year-old was with us, because my wife had to go right after work. So I walked her through the EDR to get to her car, and we were abruptly stopped by a security officer who works where I work. And he, I guess, was having a bad day or something, because he rudely and arrogantly told us that we were not allowed to be there, that we were breaking the rules, and he wanted my employee ID and yada yada, and my wife, you know, all this stuff. And my wife got upset and yelled back at him because my wife had a long day. She's a teacher, getting to the end of the school year, started early in the morning, and had to, you know, go to this dumb thing that she had to do, and you know, it just was a bad mix all put together, and it made a huge scene where there didn't have to be a big scene. You know, the end result was nothing. My wife ended up, you know, getting to her car and going home. But, you know, this whole scene ensued. I had to talk to his supervisor and go through this long rigmarole. But all of it could have been avoided if the security officer said the same thing, like, look, you know, we got a rule here that kids are not allowed into the EDR. You know, please in the future do not, you know, be in the EDR with your child, and go and go, you know, enjoy the rest of your day or whatever. That would have been fine. But no, he had to be a total jackwad about it. And sometimes it's not what you say. I mean, yeah, it's not what you say, it's how you say it. Just saying. All right, so the wrapper is off. Came off very easily. The Last Cowboy is upside down. There he is. Last Cowboy, last time you're going to see him. And bye-bye. All right, so Superdan's going to give you his numbers and call this a review. I'm not anticipating really much more changes. If there is, I will get back on here and let you know. Oh, drop my lighter. Oh, don't drop your lighter. I'll be back with the numbers. All right. Construction. Construction was solid. Beautifully wrapped cigar. Really had no problems with the construction. The draw was great. Burn line stood up. Had to touch it a little bit, but you know, it was very, very, very minor. I'm gonna give construction 4.0. The taste was phenomenal, right up Superdan's alley. I love that brown sugar, that cocoa, that barbecue, that rich tobacco Maduro taste, the sweetness taste of a Maduro. Zingy pepper, loved it. 4.6 stars on the taste. And the price, right now, you can't find a price on these because they're limited edition. They're not available yet. And if they are available, they're only available in one place, the Privada Cigar Club. And they're not, like I said, they're not cheap. They're going to be selling these for 50 bucks. 50 bucks. So I got to assume it's going to be $50. I think that's high, but that's just my opinion. I don't know. It could be worth it to you. Some people don't really care about price. They just want a great cigar. But I don't think I'm going to be running to the shop anytime soon and spend $50 on a cigar when I could get very good, say $5 cigars and get 10 of them. You know, Superdan's more of an economic driven cigar buyer. So, you know, is it worth, so what is it worth for Superdan? I'd say this cigar could be worth $20. You know, off the top of my head. $50, seems a little much to me, so I'm gonna have to knock it down on the price. Say 3.3 stars for the price. So overall, Superdan is gonna give this cigar a 3.85 on the 1 to 5 star Superdan rating. 3.85 stars, pretty good, pretty good. If they just knock down that price, this cigar would be #1. But price is part of it. Price is part of the formula for Superdan's reviews. So that's it. Thank you for watching Cigar Review 8B, the Sinistro Last Cowboy Maduro Lancero Privada Cigar Club exclusive limited edition 2019. I am Superdan, dealing in the desert. 9B will come up sooner or later, hopefully sooner. Thank you all for watching. Please, if you haven't already subscribed, click the thumbs up, comment down below. Become a Patreon member. If not, become a PayPal member. It's all in the back. Helps out Superdan in buying these cigars and paying for the equipment and the internet and everything else that goes with it. Thank you guys very much. Have a lovely day. Have a great day. And whether you think you can or can't, you're right. I will catch you next time. Cheers, and smoke them if you got them. Cheers.